Are you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.
My sister Takez. Gonna be with them in just a moment and resolve a lot of mysteries about them. So, as promised, we have Rodrigo from my sister Takez here with us. Hello.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, I'm glad to hear you. So, tell us a little bit about your influences. What would you say those are your primary influencers for your music?
Well, I grew up listening to grunge music because of my age. It was the most important rock genre that we could listen. And I love bands like Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, and so on. But I also love stoner rock and so on. But I don't. When I listen to our music, I don't find those influences. So I'm not sure about what they are.
Or maybe that's your own product out of your influences once you process them over in your head.
Yeah, maybe that's why I can find those influences. I when I was younger, much younger, I listened to U2 a lot. So maybe
to you too.
That's
Wow.
something too in our music.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. That's cool. That's very cool. So, tell us a little bit. Why and when did you start playing music?
I don't remember exactly when I started playing music. I remember that there was in my home there were a couple of Spanish guitars that my father bought for my older brothers, and they never were interested in those pieces of wood that they were at home, and I was the only one playing them and so on. And that's when I started. That's the first thing I remember.
Cool, that's interesting. So you actually started playing Spanish guitar?
Yeah. I've never played flamenco or something like that, but I started playing Spanish guitar, and many of our songs, the songs from my sister Takez, were written with the Spanish guitar. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing to know. So, if this is right, you are the bassist and singer. So
Yeah.
How was the transition from playing Spanish guitar to picking up a bass?
Well, I don't know. I I've never played guitar in a band. The first thing that I did in a band was playing bass and singing. And it was a couple of friends. They already played guitar, and there was no bass player in the band, so I decided to play bass.
So you became a bass player out of necessity, really?
Yeah.
That's really cool, man.
I think I'm a singer. Mostly I'm a singer more than anything,
Exactly, so you consider yourself more of a songwriter or singer.
Yeah.
So what's the inspiration then for when you write these songs, when you compose? What is your major, would you say, is your major inspiration?
Well, I usually write about, I think the most important, I usually write about human behavior. That's what I always write about, and I think that's the only thing that matters. And all that happens in the world, you can reduce it to that. You can talk about society, politics, love, and so on, but everything is the same. That is human behavior, in different aspects of life. So I always write about human behavior. You can write a song about love, or about politics, or about whatever, but in the end, it will always be about human behavior, and I think that's what is more interesting for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. So the good, the bad, and the ugly, I guess.
That's right. It's all about human drives. The motivations of the people, I think.
That's very interesting. So, tell us a little bit your trajectory as a musician. If you could, describe from the point from when you started to nowadays. I know my sister Daft San is like a stable, composed, working group, and you're playing your gigs frequently. So how did you start it? How was that trajectory up until where you are now?
Well, before my sister Daft San, I created my sister Daft San in 2006. So it's been a long time since then. So I hardly remember what I did before that. But I was in many bands. Before that, I didn't. There was a long time without singing. I spent a long time without singing, just playing the bass.
But you started initially when you started as a singer.
Yeah, I started as a singer and a bass player, and it was about when I was a teenager. The first band I founded, it was called Q3. In that time I only listened to YouTube. When I was 14 years old, I only listened to YouTube, and the pronunciation for Q3 in Spanish is cutres.
Oh, that's
What's and the meaning of cutres is
for those listeners that don't know what that means in Spanish. Can you translate it?
I don't know. It's a CD or something like that.
It's something bad. It's something bad.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that's where I think that's where you can feel the influence of U2 mostly. In my career. And I was singing there, but then I stopped with that band when I was 18, more or less, and I spent a couple of years just playing at home and so on. And when I was 20, I was fed up of hearing only myself, so I got myself in the market again, and I decided I didn't want to I couldn't give a lot of time to music, so I decided to dedicate only to play the bass. And I started as a bass player. It was about 5-6 years, and after that,
Interesting. So in 2006, you said, "This is enough. I really, really want to sing my own songs." Is that it?
That's right. Yeah.
Amazing. So how it's been throughout, since it's been 12 years already. So I assume there's a lot of hard work involved. With the everyday. So how would you describe that to those that really want to pursue and follow your steps in a way?
I think I can divide it in, I don't know, maybe 3 different periods. The first one, which was 2 very good musicians I gathered, and we recorded a demo. From there, it was about a couple of years, 3 years. After that, I have to change the guitar player because he left the band. He wasn't very. He used to play with me when I was a bass player, so I think he never get used to hearing me singing, you know. Yeah. And after that, I finally in 2010 I met Joe Boldrini, and I think that was the moment, but that consolidated my sister's absence as a good rock band, you know, because his influence in the music has been really high.
I know, Joe. He's also a great producer, right?
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
He has produced. He produced the Desert of Believing, the album that is now in the market, and I'm working with him right now on the second album.
That's amazing. Let's take a little listen to what we're talking about. Let's hear a little bit about it. We're playing Almost Serious. So what for this song, what would you say that's the main message for Almost Serious? What would you say that's the main message on that song?
Well, I wrote that song in a very low moment in my life. I didn't feel too good in that moment, and it's about that moment, you know. It's just a picture of a very concrete moment in a very particular moment in my life, and it's a little ironic also, because you know, when you start thinking a lot about the problems that you have, you end up thinking that it's not that bad, you know. I have been through a few things, and I know that things are not as bad as you see them when you're passing through them, you know.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense. So, talking about sense, why don't you tell us what is the meaning of the name? Where is it coming from?
Well, it comes from the fact that, you know, we're from Spain, as you may have noticed because of my accent and my vocabulary. And here in Spain, it's very hard, you know, playing rock. And it's very hard making a life from that, you know. And with the people that moves the market, the musical market in our country, are usually teenagers, girls, you know, and, you know, like the siblings that we all have, you know, your little sister, you know. And I have always had that sensation that we were playing, we have played a lot and nobody was listening, you know. So that, you know, it seems like we're playing for my sister's absence.
I understand.
What's wrong?
a snapshot of your audience, I suppose.
That's
That's fantastic. That's really so. Yeah, I mean, it goes very well with the purpose of our platform. What you mentioned, we really do not agree with the current mainstream panorama in music. We really want to give a voice to bands like yourself. Because your staff is fantastic. Your staff is really, really fantastic. And you're saying you have a record on the market.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
That's why we started working with you guys, because I think that the work you're doing, Leerecs, it's something that needed to be done, and I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, for all of you, this record, Desert of Believing, by my sister Def Sense, it's available online everywhere. Look for it and get it for these guys. You're not going to regret it. Really, really good stuff. Let's take a listen again. Okay, Rodrigo, still there?
Yeah.
Well, man, it's been a real pleasure. I hope you make it another time, sometime soon. Will you be able to speak with us sometime in the future?
It will be a great honor being with you whenever you need.
Fantastic, man, fantastic. Anything else you want to say to the audience? What else would you like to say?
Listen to rock music. You will learn a lot about life and about many, many things that you will never believe that were out there. Listen to rock music.
Exactly, man, exactly. Okay, until the next time, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye, take care.
Visit Leerecs.com today or download the Leerecs app from the App Store or Google Play for free.
I was getting over. I was driven by the things I said when there's no one here. I'm falling into dark and digging my own grave. All the cheetahs spinning.
part of the movement. Visit Leerecs.com today or download the Leerecs app from the App Store
typical
or
libraries
Google Play.
of conventional music that makes you feel meh. Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com. Are you tired of the typical libraries with conventional music that makes you feel meh? Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com. Part of the movement. Visit Leerecs.com today or download the Leerecs app from the App Store or Google Play.
As promised, we have Marlowe B West here with us. Hi, Marlowe.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
All good. Thank you so much for talking with us, and we'd really love to understand a little bit more about your music and what you do, your influences. So why don't we start there? Why don't you tell us a little bit about your major influences?
Okay. Well, the name of my band is Marlowe B West Takes Manhattan. And I used to have a band, was just called Marlowe B West Takes Manhattan. And it began as I was a co-host on The Rue and Who show for a few years. Really? And she let me open up the show, and I would get some local musicians, and I'd get to do a song or two. And so then eventually people started asking me, well, when are you going to play in the clubs? So so being I had so much influence and met so many people through Ruth's beautiful show, I acquired a band like this great guitar player, Joff Wilson, and Ann Hussick, and Frank D'Annunzio. It goes on and on. All these outrageous Mick Oakfield, yeah. I mean, I keep on getting his name mixed up. And we've been together for years. But anyway, I was playing in a club, and this guy came up to me and says, Marlowe, you'd be great with horns. And because I dress in costume and I wear outrageous outfits all the time, and I thought he meant that I would look good dressed like a devil. But what he meant was he has a band called the Brooklyn Horns, who are members of the New York City Blues Hall of Fame. Okay. And their trombone, which is Phil Stone, and Joe Krasinski, he plays the trumpet, and Tommy Pez, and he's the awesome sax player. And we have a show coming up on 2 weeks from yesterday, on the 27th of July at Sidewalk, New York City. It's an awesome nightclub down in the East Village, and I have a residency there, and I play there on midnights.
Oh, really? So you play like consistently, frequently on the same place? Yeah,
and I have a great girl who films us all the time. Her name is Alice Sincata, Alice Espinoza Sincata. And we have all these videos from the shows, which I usually use them for reference to see what I like and what I don't like, and it's like educational. And also, if I could possibly get anything out of it to, like, maybe influence some other clubs to get gigs and stuff, Yeah. And also, Joe, the trumpet player, is in Tokyo, I think, this week. And so we have this other awesome trumpet player, Matt Gallahan. He's toured the world with Duran Duran, and he's been on recordings with David Bowie. And I'm so honored. My band is so freaking great. I just really am very proud.
It's true.
And I'm very...
It's true. You guys are really, really, really fantastic.
Yeah, and then this guy, Paul Anthony, he has a studio. He used to be my guitarist, and we got together for a long time. He's one of the best in New York City. And I seem to always acquire the best musicians in town. And we're all striving for the same thing to get, the big deal. And then that's where you come in, Mark, recognizing the sound and the look and everything, and coming forward and curious.
Well,
Your
man,
curiosity is just outrageous. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, you're totally right. We're for the true musicians and the real talent like yourself and your band.
Thanks so much.
Something I get from our communications, and I think everybody should know, you seem to have a really good heart. You seem to be a very, very good person. Honestly, that's what I get from the times we've spoken, honestly.
Thank you. I am. I love everybody. And I really would like to get a stand in the world, and if people paid attention to me finally, because I think people waste too much time with their hatred, and everybody thinks they need to fight over everything. It's just really, really boring, and it blocks out and takes the spotlight away from all the beauty in life and the world. Because I always go to fantasy, and I spend most of my time in my fantasy world, designing and writing and just dreaming about a better world, the beautiful world that we were brought to in this life.
That's a really good message. I guess.
Thank you.
I guess that's one of my questions was what's the inspiration for your songs, and I am getting that maybe this might be it.
Yeah, I want to get my message across that people are wasting their beautiful life. You come around, everybody who is born, and all living things are each a miracle. Just that they happen to connect at birth to be a living thing and to experience this amazing fleeting life. Life is passing through, and people waste so much time. They have to come to the realization that you have to just turn on the beauty and turn off the ugly.
I love that. That's really nice. That's really good.
Thank you, Mark.
I like it. So, I guess I'd like to ask you why you started playing. How did you find out that you had these tendencies for music?
Well, it started when I was little, and my family used to always make me sing. And and so I guess I sang like a choir boy or something, but they'd have me sing songs like You'll Never Walk Alone and things that were I came to find out that they were usually very hard to reach all the notes and stuff. But of course my voice has changed since I was little.
It's still a great voice.
Really?
Actually,
thank you.
Actually, let's hear a little bit of your music.
In a blast so fast it set my soul on fire, knocked me off my feet, sweet dynamite. I promise.
This is fantastic voice. Who you look up to? Do you think you have singers that inspire you?
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, having the Brooklyn Hornz turns my direction towards jazz and blues, which I really love. And I think Elvis Presley was very jazz and blues in his heart, and it came out rock and roll, which is the beginning of all of the madness. Even John Lennon said before Elvis there was nothing. But the Brooklyn Horns kind of turned me in the direction. We could even do Frank Sinatra songs and rock them up because we have the horns and the bluesness that is really fun. And then also like the Doors, Jim Morrison was always like incredible to my the way that I feel about the world, since I was a flower child and a hippie, and he was the voice of the generation.
I see.
And I really relate to him and his poetry and his outlook on the world. And he really wanted to get rid of all of the ugly too. There's still hope.
Yeah.
If your heart, you can follow your heart, and I believe that your dreams and your heart will lead you to where we go afterwards.
That's a great message. And music and lives forever.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, before we go, I'd like you to remind us where we can see you play your music.
On July 27th at midnight at Sidewalk NYC on Avenue A at 6th Street in downtown East, the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Okay. You come and see Marlowe B West Takes Manhattan and the Brooklyn Horns. We have a new bass player. His name is Buddy Booker, and he is fabulous. He has he's like a music teacher, so he's good. And then we have Mac Galan. He's playing the trumpet, and we're even going to do a Duran Duran song because we got Mac, and we've done it before, but not with this guy. And also Joe Kaminsky, who's in Tokyo, he's exceptional too. Sometimes he has to play in Broadway because he gets good money.
Really?
But I always find that I have to find new players because, like my player Frank D'Annunzio, he just got booked in Las Vegas, so I'm not going to have him after October. But he's one of the most exquisite guitar players I ever met. He's been playing his whole life. His father, his grandfather, he used to play bass for me, but he's also an exquisite guitar player. And I have to remember Joff Wilson, too. And the Lower East Side is where it's all happening. It's like the heart of America.
Amazing. Sidewalk NYC, is this the place where you are a frequent musician every week or every 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, we have been playing there at the end of each month. They have live bands all the time. So I've been playing there for 2 years in the back, and it's always jam-packed. And
Amazing.
It's really a thriving, beautiful community that has welcomed me into their arms, and I just love them all. And we're just spreading all the love and music and trying to just clear out all of the ugly.
Well, Sidewalk NYC, don't miss that. And Marlowe, do you have any recording, any album out there?
You can find me at just go to YouTube and write in Marlowe B West, MARLOWE B West.
Fantastic.
And there's Marlowe B West Takes Manhattan, Marlowe B West Takes Manhattan and the Brooklyn Horns. And also another book that I wrote was called Hollywood Revival, and it's a screenplay for a musical. It's a Broadway show that's being made into a movie, a Hollywood film. And there's 12 musical numbers that I wrote all, and it's kind of my idea. I just missed all the chorus girls and the glamour and the real movie stars, and so I put all that into my musical called Hollywood Revival.
Amazing.
So there's some music from that in my music that's on YouTube.
Is this a Broadway show that people can go see, or are you planning
no.
to make it? Are you planning to try to make a Broadway show out of this?
Yeah.
That would be fantastic, because we're trying to bring the beauty. We're trying to give a voice to the alternative scene, to the alternative music. So that should be a really good idea.
Thanks. Yeah, I won't ever give up. I'll get there. And then with the help of people like you, beautiful people who can recognize the beauty and spotlight it, like what you're trying to do for me right now, I just really appreciate it. I love you for that. Thank you so much. And to all the people that listen to you, I know that they're looking for it too, because that's why they were attracted to you and your show.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Marlowe, it's been a real pleasure. And we hope to have you another time soon. And if there were a last message that you would like to say, what would that be?
That would be, love one another. We all need each other. If you think you're somebody who doesn't need anybody because you're richer or you're somebody and you look down on everything, then you're missing the whole point.
Look for the beauty.
Yes.
Look for the beauty. That's good, Marlowe. Anyway, thank you, and until the next time. And we see you at the sidewalk, NYC.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Marlowe. Pleasure. Until the next time.
Bless you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. See ya.
Not to tell. We're told the whole wide world about it. Wait until you meet.
Part of the movement. Visit Leerecs.com today or download the Leerecs app from the App Store or Google Play for free.
Blast so fast it set my soul on fire, knocked me off my feet, sweet dynamite. I promise not to tell. We're told the whole wide world about it. Wait until you meet sweet dynamite. Take me away up into that blue horizon, seems so far away. But just one stick will get me there quicker. Dynamite, sweet dynamite, dynamite with you. Dynamite comes around, sound you hear it, my heart pounding, beat, sweet dynamite. Bye-bye Mercury, you popped your top off, try and stop, it's asphyxiating heat, sweet dynamite. growl. The sound you hear is my heart pounding, pounding deep, sweet dynamite. Bye-bye Mercury, you popped your top off. Try and stop. Sweet heat, sweet dynamite. Dynamite. Sweet dynamite. Dynamite. Would you?
Introducing Leerecs.com, the music website made for and by minds like you. Our team are lifelong musicians and producers in love with music. Search the Leerecs music catalogs and find music with guaranteed originality. Mark the difference with music of signature at Leerecs.com.